What if the Jedi discovered Order 65 before Palpatine could execute Order 66? Hidden within the Grand Army of the Republic's protocols are 150 contingency orders. Most are standard military procedures, but a few are designed for extreme scenarios. Order 66 commands clones to execute all Jedi as traitors. But there's another order, one the Sith Lord never expected the Jedi to find. Order 65. In the event that the Supreme Chancellor is deemed unfit to issue orders, the clone commanders are authorized to remove them from power by any means necessary, including lethal force. It's a fail-safe built into the Republic's emergency powers framework, a way to prevent a dictator from seizing absolute control. And it's the one weapon Palpatine never planned for the Jedi to use against him. This is the story of how the Jedi Order discovered the contingency protocols, how they realized the Supreme Chancellor was actually Darth Sidious, and how they used Palpatine's own weapon, the Clone Army, to destroy him. This is the story of how Order 65 saved the galaxy, the Discovery. The 501st Legion's medical bay hums with activity. Clone medic Kix has been working double shifts since the Battle of Ringo Vinda, where his brother Toop suffered a catastrophic breakdown and killed Jedi General Tiplar without provocation. Kix knows something is wrong. Toop wasn't unstable. He wasn't aggressive. One moment he was following orders, the next he was screaming about good soldiers follow orders and executing a Jedi. The official report called it a malfunction, a defective clone. But Kix has examined Toop's body, and he found something the Kaminoans didn't want anyone to see, a tumor. Except it's not a tumor. It's an organic chip, embedded deep in Toop's brain tissue. Kix brings his findings to the one person he trusts absolutely, Anakin Skywalker. General, I need to show you something, and it can't leave this room. Anakin is in his quarters, reviewing battle reports. He looks up, sensing Kix's anxiety through the Force. What's wrong? Kix pulls up a holographic scan of Toop's brain. This is what killed him, sir. This chip, it's not natural. It was implanted during his creation on Kamino. Anakin leans forward, studying the image. What does it do? I don't know exactly, but I found files in the Kaminoan medical database before they locked me out. The chip is called an inhibitor chip. It's supposed to make clones more obedient, prevent independent thinking. Every clone has one of these. Every single one, sir. Me, Rex, Cody, Jesse, Fives, all of us. We were created with these chips in our heads, and nobody told us. Anakin's jaw clenches. The clones are his brothers in arms. The idea that they've been implanted with control devices without their knowledge or consent makes his blood boil. We need to investigate this further. Quietly. If the Kaminoans are hiding this, there's a reason. Kix pulls up another file. Before they shut me out, I found references to something called contingency orders. Protocols embedded in the chip that can be activated by specific commands. What kind of protocols? I couldn't access the full list, but one of them is designated Order 66. Kix's voice drops to a whisper. The description said it's an order to execute all Jedi as traitors to the Republic. The room goes deathly silent. Anakin stares at the hologram, his mind racing. A kill switch in the clone army. A way to make every soldier in the Republic turn on the Jedi simultaneously. Who has the authority to issue these orders? Anakin asks carefully. According to the files, only the Supreme Chancellor, Palpatine, Anakin's friend and mentor, the man who's been so supportive, so understanding. Could he be behind this? Kix, I need you to do something for me. Copy every file you can access about these chips and these contingency orders. Don't tell anyone else yet, not even Rex. Can you do that? Yes, sir. But General, if this is real, if there really is an order to kill Jedi, we need to warn the Council. We will. But first I need proof. Something the Council can't dismiss as clone paranoia or separatist propaganda. Get me those files. Kix salutes and leaves. Anakin sits alone in his quarters, staring at the brain scan. He thinks about his friendship with Palpatine, the late-night conversations, the political advice, the encouragement to trust his feelings over the Council's rules. What if it's all been manipulation? He needs to talk to someone he trusts, someone who won't dismiss this out of hand. He calls Ahsoka Tano, assembling the evidence. Ahsoka arrives within the hour, sensing the urgency in Anakin's Force signature. They meet in a secure briefing room along with Obi-Wan Kenobi, the only other Jedi Anakin trusts completely with this information. Master, Snips, we have a problem. Anakin projects the hologram of Toop's brain scan. The clones have control chips in their heads, chips that can make them follow orders without question, including an order to execute all Jedi. Obi-Wan's expression darkens. You're certain of this? Kix found the chips, found references to the contingency orders in Kamino and files, and it explains what happened to Toop and Fives. Ahsoka leans forward, studying the image. Fives tried to warn us about this. He said there was a conspiracy, something in the clones' heads. We thought he was delusional. He wasn't, Anakin says grimly. He was murdered to keep this secret. And the Kaminoans have been covering it up. Who authorized these chips? Obi-Wan asks. The Kaminoans don't act independently. Someone commissioned this feature when the clone army was created. Sifo Dyas, Ahsoka suggests. He ordered the army. Or someone pretending to be Sifo Dyas, Anakin counters. We've never confirmed who actually placed that order. The records are sealed, classified by the Chancellor's office. The three Jedi exchange glances. The implications are staggering. We need more information, Obi-Wan decides. We need to access the complete list of contingency orders. If Order 66 exists, there may be other protocols that give us insight into who created this system. Kix is working on it, Anakin says. But the Kaminoans are suspicious. They've locked down their databases. Then we go to the source, Ahsoka suggests. We go to Kamino and demand answers. That could tip our hand, Obi-Wan warns. If someone is monitoring the situation, then we do it quietly, Anakin interrupts. A routine inspection. Nothing unusual. We bring a small team, access the medical archives, and get the information we need. And if the Kaminoans resist, then we'll know for certain that something is wrong. They plan the mission carefully. Anakin, Ahsoka, and a small team of trusted clones, Rex, Kix, and Jesse, will travel to Kamino under the pretense of inspecting clone training protocols. Obi-Wan will remain on Coruscant, maintaining normalcy while monitoring the situation. Before they depart, Kix provides one crucial piece of information. General, I managed to extract one more file before they locked me out. It's a partial list of the contingency orders. He projects a hologram. Orders 1 through 10, 37, 65, and 66 are visible. Most are standard military protocols. But Order 65 catches Anakin's attention. Order 65, he reads aloud. In the event of the Supreme Chancellor, or Commander-in-Chief of the Grand Army of the Republic, being declared unfit to issue orders, the Chancellor is to be arrested or, if necessary, killed. Any and all orders previously issued by the Chancellor are to be ignored. The room goes silent. It's a failsafe, Ahsoka realizes, a way to remove a corrupt Chancellor. Who has the authority to declare the Chancellor unfit? Obi-Wan asks. Kix zooms in on the fine print. According to this, either the Senate Security Council or the Jedi Council can issue the declaration. If both agree, Order 65 is automatically activated. Anakin's mind races. Order 66 is designed to destroy the Jedi. But Order 65 could destroy Palpatine. If they can prove he's behind the inhibitor chips, behind the conspiracy, they could use his own weapon against him. We need that full list, Anakin says. And we need to know who programmed these orders into the chips. Because I'm willing to bet it's the same person who stands to benefit from Order 66. Kamino infiltration. The rain never stops on Kamino. Anakin's ship descends through the perpetual storm, landing in the main cloning facility's hangar. Lama Su, the Prime Minister, greets them with his usual cold politeness. General Skywalker, Commander Tano, we were not expecting an inspection. Routine visit, Anakin says casually. We want to ensure our troops are receiving the best training. The war is intensifying and we need every advantage. Of course, I will arrange a tour of our facilities. While Lama Su leads Anakin and Ahsoka through training areas, Rex and Kix slip away to the medical archives. They've memorized the facility layout and know exactly where to go. The medical database is heavily encrypted, but Kix has been preparing for this. He's a medic, authorized to access patient files. He uses his credentials to bypass the first layer of security, then employs slicing techniques learned from the 501st's resident tech expert. I'm in, Kix whispers, accessing the contingency order files now. Data streams across his datapad, order after order, each with specific activation protocols and authorization requirements. Orders 1 through 150, the complete list. Rex watches the corridor nervously. How long? Almost done. Just need to... Kix freezes. Sir, you need to see this. Rex looks at the screen. Order 66 is there, exactly as described. But there's something else. The order was programmed by someone with the access code Sidious. Sidious, Rex says quietly. That's the Sith Lord Count Dooku serves. The one the Jedi have been searching for. And he had access to program the clone army's contingency orders, Kix adds. Which means he's been involved since the very beginning. They copied the entire database to an encrypted drive. Every contingency order, every access log, every piece of evidence that proves the clone army was designed with built-in betrayal protocols. But as they're finishing, alarms blare. Kamino and security has detected their intrusion. Time to go. Rex draws his blasters. They fight their way through the facility, stunning Kamino and guards and avoiding lethal force. Anakin and Ahsoka sense the disturbance and cut their tour short, rushing to support their men. What did you find? Anakin demands as they reach the hangar. Everything, Kix says, clutching the data drive. The orders, the access codes, proof that someone called Sidious programmed the chips. They board their ship under heavy fire. Kamino and security forces try to prevent their departure, but Ahsoka's piloting skills get them off-world before they can be stopped. As they jump to hyperspace, Anakin examines the data. His worst fears are confirmed. The clone army isn't just a military force. It's a trap, designed to destroy the Jedi at a specific moment. And whoever Sidious is, they've been planning this for over a decade. The Council Session. The Jedi Council assembles an emergency session. Every member is present, either physically or via hologram. Anakin, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Rex, and Kix stand in the center of the chamber. Master Yoda regards them solemnly. Grave news you bring. Share it, you must. Anakin projects the holographic data, brain scans showing the inhibitor chips, the list of contingency orders, the access logs showing someone called Sidious programmed Order 66. Every clone in the Grand Army has a control chip in their brain, Anakin explains. These chips can be activated by specific verbal commands called contingency orders. One of those orders, Order 66, commands the clones to execute all Jedi as traitors to the Republic. The Council erupts in shocked murmurs. Mace Windu raises his hand for silence. You're certain of this? Windu demands. We have the medical scans, the programming code, and the access logs, Ahsoka confirms. The evidence is irrefutable. Ki-Adi-Mundi speaks up. Who has the authority to issue these orders? According to the protocols, only the Supreme Chancellor can activate Order 66, Rex reports. The chips are programmed to respond to his voice authorization. More murmurs. The implications are staggering. And this Sidious who programmed the chips, Obi-Wan says carefully. That's the Sith Lord we've been searching for. Darth Sidious, Count Dooku's master. The Sith Lord has been involved with the clone army from its inception, Mace Windu realizes. Which means he's had access to the highest levels of the Republic. Yoda closes his eyes, extending his senses through the Force. A darkness there is. Close to us, closer than we knew, hidden in plain sight. Masters, Ahsoka speaks up. There's something else you need to know. Among the contingency orders, there's one called Order 65. It allows for the removal of the Supreme Chancellor if he's declared unfit. And according to the protocols, the Jedi Council has the authority to make that declaration. She projects the text of Order 65. The Council members read it in stunned silence. A failsafe, Pikun observes. Someone built a way to remove a corrupt chancellor using the same clone army. Or it's a trap, Mace Windu counters, designed to make us take action that could be used against us. Either way, we must investigate, Obi-Wan insists. If the Sith Lord has infiltrated the Republic to this degree, we need to find out who he is and stop him before he can activate Order 66. The Chancellor, Anakin says quietly. Everyone turns to look at him. Think about it. Who benefits most from Order 66? Who has the authority to issue it? Who's been accumulating emergency powers throughout this war? You accuse Supreme Chancellor Palpatine of being a Sith Lord? Ki-Adi-Mundi asks incredulously. I'm saying we should investigate the possibility, Anakin replies. He's the only one with the authority to activate Order 66. And if Sidious has access to program the clone army, he must be someone in a position of extreme power. Mace Windu strokes his chin thoughtfully. The Chancellor has been unusually involved in military decisions. and he's resisted attempts to end the war diplomatically. We cannot accuse the Supreme Chancellor without proof, Yoda warns. Dangerous such accusations are. Divide the Republic, they could. Then we get proof, Ahsoka suggests. We investigate quietly. We look for connections between Palpatine and Sidious. And if we find evidence, we act. And if we find proof that he's the Sith Lord, Shakti asks. What then? Anakin looks at the holographic display of Order 65. Then we use his own weapon against him. We declare him unfit and activate Order 65. The clone army arrests or eliminates him, and the Republic is saved. It's a bold plan, dangerous, unprecedented. But the alternative is waiting for Palpatine to strike first, and that means the extinction of the Jedi Order. We must move carefully, Mace Windu decides. A small team will investigate the Chancellor. The rest of the Council will maintain normal operations to avoid suspicion, and we prepare to execute Order 65 if necessary. Who investigates? Obi-Wan asks. Master Windu, yourself, and Skywalker, Yoda decides. Closest to the Chancellor Skywalker is. Sense deception, he might. And powerful enough to confront a Sith Lord, the three of you are. It's decided. The investigation begins immediately, and the fate of the galaxy hangs on what they discover. Investigating Palpatine. Over the next 2 weeks, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Mace Windu conduct the most delicate investigation of their lives. They can't be obvious, can't alert Palpatine if he's truly Sidious. They need evidence, and they need it quickly. Anakin uses his friendship with Palpatine to gain access to the Chancellor's schedule, his appointments, his private communications. He hates the deception, but if Palpatine is the Sith Lord, the manipulation goes both ways. What he finds is troubling. Palpatine has private meetings with senators late at night, always emerges with their support for expanded executive powers. He receives communications from unknown sources, encrypted and deleted immediately after reading. More concerning, Anakin notices that Palpatine's advice over the years has consistently isolated him from the Jedi Council. Every conversation emphasizes the Council's failures, their lack of trust, their political blindness. It's been subtle, gradual, but effective. Obi-Wan investigates the financial trails. The clone army was expensive to create and maintain. The credits had to come from somewhere. He traces Republic funding back through shell corporations and dummy accounts, following a trail that leads to obscure mining operations in the Outer Rim, the same operations that fund the Separatist war machine. It's brilliant, in a horrifying way, Obi-Wan reports to the investigation team. Palpatine has been funneling Republic credits to fund both sides of the war. He's been playing both armies against each other, accumulating power while the galaxy tears itself apart. Mace Windu focuses on the Force. He extends his senses during council sessions, trying to detect any hint of dark side corruption in Palpatine. At first, there's nothing. The Chancellor seems like any other politician, ambitious, calculating, but mundane. Then Mace looks deeper, past the surface, past the carefully constructed facade, and he feels it. A vast darkness, hidden behind layers of deception and Force techniques so advanced they're nearly undetectable. Palpatine is a Force user, a powerful one, and he's been hiding it from the Jedi for years. The three investigators convene in a secure room in the Jedi Temple. He's the Sith Lord, Mace Windu states without preamble. I've sensed it. The dark side surrounds him, hidden but present. The financial evidence supports it, Obi-Wan adds. He's been funding both sides of the war, and he's been manipulating me, Anakin says, the words tasting like ash. Everything he said, every piece of advice, it's all been designed to isolate me from the Council, to make me distrust the Jedi, to turn you to the dark side, Mace finishes. You were to be his apprentice, his enforcer once the Jedi were destroyed. Anakin's hands clench into fists. The betrayal cuts deep. Palpatine was like a father to him, the one person who seemed to understand and appreciate him. And it was all lies. What do? He asks. We present our evidence to the Council, Obi-Wan says. And we prepare to execute Order 65. The Senate won't support this, Anakin warns. Palpatine is popular. Powerful. Even with evidence, many senators will defend him. We don't need the Senate's approval for Order 65, Mace points out. Only the Security Council's agreement and the Jedi Council's declaration. If both agree, the protocol activates automatically. We're talking about using the clone army to kill the Supreme Chancellor, Anakin says. Even if he's a Sith Lord, even if he deserves it, the political fallout will be catastrophic. Less catastrophic than Order 66, Obi-Wan counters. If we wait, if we try to gather more evidence, Palpatine will sense our investigation and strike first. The entire Jedi Order will be destroyed. It's the harsh reality. They have to act now, before Palpatine realizes the Jedi know his secret. There's one more thing we need, Mace says. We need to remove the inhibitor chips from key clone commanders. Rex, Cody, Wolf. The leaders who can help coordinate Order 65. If they still have the chips, Palpatine could override the Order and activate Order 66 instead. Kix has been working on that, Anakin confirms. The surgery is delicate, but he's successfully removed chips from several volunteers. We can accelerate the process. They brief the full council that evening. Every master is present. The gravity of the situation demands it. Darth Sidious is Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, Mace Windu announces. We have evidence of his manipulation of the war, his use of the dark side, and his plan to destroy the Jedi Order. We must act immediately. He presents their findings, the financial records, the Force signature, the pattern of manipulation. It's circumstantial in places, but taken together, it's damning. Confirm this, I can, Yoda says heavily. Sense the darkness I have. Too late, I saw the truth. Deceived us all, Palpatine has. Then we're agreed? Mace asks. We execute Order 65? The vote is unanimous. Every council member recognizes the threat. Every master understands that hesitation means extinction. We'll need the Security Council's agreement, Obi-Wan reminds them, and we need to move fast. Once we make our declaration, Palpatine will know. He'll have minutes, maybe seconds, before the clones receive the order. I'll speak to the Security Council. Bail Organa offers via hologram. He's been monitoring the session as the Senate's Jedi liaison. If you present your evidence, they'll support the declaration. Then we move tomorrow, Mace decides. We present to the Security Council at dawn. The moment they agree, we make the declaration and activate Order 65. The clone army will handle the rest. The plan unfolds. Dawn breaks over Coruscant. The city planet wakes to what seems like an ordinary day. But in the Senate building's secure chambers, history is about to be made. The Senate Security Council convenes an emergency session. Bail Organa has assembled the key members, senators from Alderaan, Chandrila, Naboo, and other core worlds who've grown increasingly concerned about Palpatine's accumulation of power. Mace Windu presents the evidence. He doesn't reveal that Palpatine is a Sith Lord. That would strain credibility. Instead, he focuses on the financial crimes, the manipulation of the war, the evidence of treason. The Supreme Chancellor has been funding both sides of this conflict, Mace explains. He's prolonged the war deliberately to accumulate emergency powers, and he's planned to use the clone army to stage a coup against the Jedi and the Senate. He shows them the inhibitor chip data, the contingency orders. Order 66, which would make the clones murder Jedi without question. Chancellor Palpatine is the only one with authority to issue this order, Mace continues. Which means he's been planning this from the beginning. He created the war. He created the crisis. And he's been positioning himself to seize absolute power. The Security Council members are shocked, some skeptical. But the evidence is compelling. Mon Mothma speaks up. Even if this is true, removing a sitting chancellor is unprecedented. The political ramifications are nothing compared to a Sith dictatorship, Bail Organa interrupts. If Master Windu's evidence is accurate, and I have no reason to doubt the Jedi, then Palpatine is a traitor to the Republic. We must act. The debate is heated but brief. The stakes are too high for lengthy deliberation. A vote is called. The Security Council declares Supreme Chancellor Palpatine unfit to issue orders, citing evidence of treason, war profiteering, and conspiracy against the Republic. Immediately, Mace Windu activates his comlink, Master Yoda. The Security Council has made their declaration. It's time. In the Jedi Temple, Yoda stands before the assembled council. The Jedi Council declares Supreme Chancellor Palpatine unfit to command the Grand Army of the Republic. Order 65 is hereby activated. The declaration is transmitted on all military channels. Every clone commander receives it simultaneously. And embedded in their inhibitor chips, buried beneath Order 66 and all the other protocols, Order 65 activates. Across the galaxy, clone troopers turn to their Jedi generals with confusion, not malice. They're still themselves. Order 65 doesn't control their minds like Order 66 would have. It simply designates a new target, the Supreme Chancellor. On Coruscant, Commander Fox of the Coruscant Guard receives the order. He looks at his men, then at the Senate building where Palpatine maintains his office. "You heard the order," Fox says calmly. "All units, converge on the Chancellor's office. Target is Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. He's to be arrested or, if he resists, neutralized." Thousands of clone troopers mobilize. They move through the Senate building with military precision, evacuating civilians and securing routes of escape. Palpatine is in his office when his security detail, clone troopers loyal to the Chancellor, suddenly turn on him. "What is the meaning of this?" Palpatine demands. "Order 65, sir," the lead trooper says. "You're under arrest for treason against the Republic." Palpatine's grandfatherly expression melts away. His eyes flash yellow for a split second before he regains control. "I see. The Jedi have made their move. Very well. He could fight, could kill these troopers and flee, but that would confirm his identity as a Sith Lord. Better to play the victim, to turn this against the Jedi." "I'll come peacefully," Palpatine says, raising his hands, "but the Jedi will pay for this treachery." With the clones bind him in stun cuffs and escort him from the Senate building. As they emerge, news feeds across Coruscant broadcast the image, the Supreme Chancellor, arrested by his own guards. But Palpatine isn't finished, not by a long shot. The confrontation Palpatine is brought to the Jedi Temple, the most secure location on Coruscant. He's placed in a force-suppressing cell, guarded by clone troopers and Jedi Knights. Mace Windu, Yoda, Obi-Wan, and Anakin enter the detention level. It's time for the confrontation they've been preparing for. Palpatine sits calmly in his cell, his hands still bound. When he sees Anakin, his expression becomes one of wounded betrayal. "Anakin, my boy, how could you let them do this to me? I've been your friend, your mentor. You've been manipulating me," Anakin interrupts coldly. "Using my fears, my frustrations, my attachment to Padme. You were grooming me to be your apprentice." Palpatine's facade cracks slightly. "Ah, we know you're Darth Sidious," Mace Windu states. "The Sith Lord who orchestrated the Clone Wars, who created the separatist movement, who planned to use Order 66 to destroy the Jedi." "Prove it," Palpatine challenges. "You have financial records that could be explained as legitimate wartime transactions. You have force sensitivity, which isn't a crime. But you don't have proof that I'm this Darth Sidious you speak of." "Sense it, we can," Yoda says quietly. "The dark side, strong in you it is. Hidden for years but present. The Force is not admissible evidence in a Republic court," Palpatine counters. "You'll need more than Jedi mysticism to convict me." "We have the inhibitor chips," Obi-Wan says. "Programmed by someone with the access code Sidious. We have financial trails linking you to separatist funding. We have a pattern of behavior designed to accumulate power and eliminate opposition." "Circumstantial," Palpatine dismisses. "Any competent lawyer will have me freed within days. And when I am, the Jedi Order will face charges of treason." Arresting the Supreme Chancellor during wartime? That's a coup. He's right, and they know it. Without a confession or irrefutable proof of his Sith identity, the legal case is shaky. Public opinion will turn against the Jedi. The Republic will fracture, unless they can make him reveal himself. "You made one mistake," Anakin says. "You taught me to sense deception through the Force. And I can sense you, Sidious. I can feel the darkness radiating from you like heat from a star. Your feelings are not facts, young Skywalker." "Then prove us wrong," Mace Windu challenges. "Submit to a Force examination. Let neutral Jedi Masters probe your connection to the Force. If you're truly just a politician, you'll be exonerated." Palpatine's eyes narrow. "I will not submit to Jedi interrogation. The separation of Republic governance and your order is absolute." "Then you condemn yourself," Obi-Wan observes. "An innocent man would accept examination to clear his name. An innocent man would refuse to legitimize a witch hunt. The mask is slipping." Palpatine's voice carries an edge of anger now, a hint of the darkness beneath. Yoda steps closer to the cell. "A choice you have, Palpatine. Confess your crimes, face justice, or resist and prove your guilt through action." "Justice?" Palpatine laughs bitterly. "You Jedi know nothing of justice. You've become pawns of the Republic, servants to a corrupt Senate. I offered the galaxy order, strength, purpose, and you dared judge me?" "You offered tyranny," Anakin says. You created a war that killed millions. You planned to enslave the Jedi and rule through fear. That's not order. That's evil. Palpatine's composure finally breaks. His face contorts with rage, and force lightning erupts from his bound hands, shattering the stun cuffs. You want proof? Palpatine's voice becomes deeper, more menacing. I am the Sith Lord. I am Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith, and your pathetic order will burn for this insolence. The force-suppressing field in the cell should prevent this, but Palpatine's power is immense, overwhelming the technology through sheer will. He blasts the cell door open with a wave of dark side energy. Clone troopers open fire, but Palpatine deflects the bolts with force barriers. A red lightsaber appears in his hand, revealed from within his robes. The Jedi ignite their own lightsabers. Mace Windu's violet blade, Yoda's green, Obi-Wan's blue, Anakin's blue, so it ends as it must, Palpatine hisses. Sith against Jedi, as it has been for millennia. Not this time, Mace says. This time you're outnumbered. Palpatine attacks with frightening speed and power. His lightsaber becomes a crimson blur, striking at all 4 Jedi simultaneously. Force lightning arcs from his free hand, forcing them to split their attention between offense and defense. The battle rages through the detention level. Palpatine is one of the most powerful Sith Lords in history, a master of all 7 lightsaber forms and countless dark side techniques. But he's fighting 4 Jedi Masters at once. And unlike the isolated confrontation in his office that would have happened in another timeline, here the Jedi are prepared, coordinated, and supported by clone troopers, who continue firing from defensive positions. Yoda engages Palpatine directly, his centuries of experience matching the Sith Lord's raw power. Mace Windu uses his Vapad technique, feeding on Palpatine's dark side energy and turning it against him. Obi-Wan and Anakin coordinate their attacks, creating openings and preventing Palpatine from focusing on any single opponent. You cannot win, Palpatine screams, unleashing a massive wave of force lightning. I have foreseen it. The Jedi will fall, the Sith will rule. Your vision is incomplete, Yoda counters, deflecting the lightning with his lightsaber. See only what you wish to see, you do. Blind to other possibilities. The battle continues for minutes that feel like hours. The detention level is destroyed, walls cracked, floors scorched, equipment shattered. Clone troopers fall, killed by Palpatine's lightning or shrapnel from the destruction. But slowly, inevitably, Palpatine weakens. 4 against 1 is too many, even for a Sith Lord. Mace Windu's Vapad drains his energy. Yoda's defense prevents him from landing killing blows. Anakin and Obi-Wan create openings and exploit weaknesses. Finally, Anakin sees his chance. Palpatine is focused on Mace Windu, trading blade strikes. Obi-Wan has moved to support Yoda. For just a second, Palpatine's back is exposed. Anakin doesn't hesitate. His blue lightsaber pierces Palpatine's back, emerging through his chest. The Sith Lord gasps, his yellow eyes widening in shock and fury. You were supposed to join me. I was supposed to destroy the Sith, Anakin says coldly. And you're the last one. He twists the blade. Palpatine's body convulses, then goes still. The most powerful Sith Lord in a millennium dies in the Jedi Temple, killed by the apprentice he tried to corrupt. Anakin deactivates his lightsaber and steps back. His hands are shaking. He just killed the man who was like a father to him, the mentor who supported him for years. But he also just saved the galaxy from tyranny. Mace Windu places a hand on Anakin's shoulder. You made the right choice, Skywalker. The hardest choice, but the right one. Yoda bows his head. Fulfilled the prophecy you have. The Sith are destroyed. Balance to the Force you bring. The aftermath news of Palpatine's death and his revelation as Darth Sidious spreads across the galaxy within hours. The Supreme Chancellor, exposed as the Sith Lord who orchestrated the Clone Wars, killed while resisting arrest. The Senate is in chaos. Many senators are shocked, genuinely unaware of Palpatine's true nature. Others scramble to distance themselves from his regime, claiming they were deceived. But some evidence is irrefutable. The financial records linking Palpatine to separatist funding, the inhibitor chips in the clone army, programmed with Order 66, the testimony of the Jedi Masters who fought him. Bail Organa addresses the Senate in an emergency session. We have been manipulated. Our trust in Chancellor Palpatine was exploited to wage a war against ourselves. The Separatists, the Republic, we've all been pawns in a Sith Lord's game of galactic domination. He presents the evidence methodically. Every senator receives copies of the financial records, the contingency order protocols, the testimony of witnesses. The Jedi discovered this conspiracy and acted to stop it, Bail continues. They used Order 65, a legitimate protocol, to remove a corrupt leader. They saved the Republic from tyranny, and we owe them our gratitude. Not everyone agrees. Some senators, those who benefited from Palpatine's patronage, argue that the Jedi staged a coup, that Order 65 was a pretext for seizing power. But the evidence is overwhelming, and when Bail Organa reveals the existence of Order 66, the protocol that would have made clone troopers murder Jedi without question, public opinion shifts decisively. The clone troopers themselves become powerful advocates for the truth. Commander Cody addresses the Senate, his inhibitor chip removed, speaking freely for the first time in his life. "We were weapons," Cody says bluntly, "created to fight, programmed to betray. Order 66 would have turned us into executioners, forced us to kill the Jedi who fought beside us, who saved our lives. Palpatine designed us to be tools of genocide." He shows holographic scans of the chips, plays recordings of the contingency order protocols, makes the abstract horror concrete and undeniable. "The Jedi freed us," Cody continues. "They discovered the chips, risked everything to investigate, and used Order 65 to stop Palpatine before he could activate Order 66. They saved us from becoming murderers. They saved themselves from extinction. And they saved the Republic from a Sith dictatorship." The speech is powerful, emotional, and effective. Public opinion turns in favor of the Jedi. Palpatine is condemned as a traitor and a monster. And Order 65 is recognized as a legitimate action taken in defense of the Republic. Emergency elections are held. Bail Organa is elected as the new Supreme Chancellor on a platform of reform, transparency, and limiting executive power. His first act is to draft a new constitution, one with strict checks on the Chancellor's authority, one that prevents any single individual from ever accumulating Palpatine's level of power again. Ending the war with Palpatine dead and his manipulation exposed, the Clone Wars rapidly wind down. Count Dooku, Palpatine's apprentice, loses his master and his purpose. The Jedi track him to Sereno. A team led by Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka confronts him in his family estate. "Your master is dead," Anakin announces. "Darth Sidious fell to the Jedi. The war he orchestrated is over. You can surrender and face trial, or you can die here. Your choice." Dooku sits in his meditation chamber, looking suddenly old and tired. So it ends. The grand plan destroyed. "And I, the fool who served it. You were once a Jedi," Obi-Wan says gently. "Master Qui-Gon spoke of you often. He said you were brilliant, principled. What happened to that man?" "He realized the Jedi were failing the galaxy," Dooku replies. "That the Republic was corrupt beyond saving. Sidious offered a solution. Burn it all down and rebuild from ashes. That solution killed millions," Ahsoka points out. "Destroyed planets. Created suffering beyond measure. Was it worth it?" Dooku is silent for a long moment. Then he laughs bitterly. No, it wasn't. We didn't rebuild anything. We just spread more darkness." He stands and deactivates his lightsaber. "I'll come with you. I'll testify against the Separatist Council. Help dismantle what Sidious built. Not for redemption, I'm beyond that, but perhaps to salvage some meaning from all this destruction." With Dooku's cooperation, the Separatist leadership is quickly located and arrested. The corporate heads who funded the war, who profited from suffering, are brought to trial. The Separatist droid armies without central command deactivate across the galaxy. Planets occupied by either side are liberated. The Clone Wars, after 3 years of bloodshed, finally end, but the scars remain. Trillions are dead. Entire worlds are devastated. The Republic's economy is shattered. Healing will take decades. The clone question. With the war over, the Republic faces a crucial question. What happens to the clone army? There are millions of clones across the galaxy. Bred for war, trained from birth to fight. Now, with the conflict ended, they face an uncertain future. Some senators argue for decommissioning the entire clone program. They're too expensive to maintain in peacetime, Senator Orn Freetaw argues. We should retire them and recruit a traditional volunteer military. But others, led by Bail Organa and Padme Amidala, push for clone rights and citizenship. These are living beings, Padme argues passionately in the Senate. They think, they feel, they make choices. Many clones died protecting us. They deserve our protection in return. The debate is intense. But the revelation of the inhibitor chips, the violation of the clones' autonomy and free will, generates public sympathy for their cause. Captain Rex testifies before the Senate. We didn't ask to be created. But we're here now. We have thoughts, feelings, dreams. Some of my brothers want to keep serving. Others want to settle down, start families, see the galaxy in peacetime. We're asking for the chance to choose our own paths. The Clone Rights Act is passed with overwhelming support. Under this legislation, all clones are granted full citizenship. Those who wish to continue military service can remain in a reformed Republic Defense Force. Those who wish to retire receive pensions and assistance. Transitioning to civilian life, the inhibitor chips must be removed from all clones, with the procedure fully funded by the Republic. No new clones will be created for military purposes. It's not perfect. Many clones struggle to adapt to civilian life after years of military service, but it's a start, and it's more than they ever had under Palpatine's Republic. Anakin oversees the chip removal program personally. He watches as Rex, Cody, Wolf, and thousands of other clones undergo the surgery. Each successful procedure is another clone freed from potential mind control. How does it feel? Anakin asks Rex after his chip is removed. Rex touches his head gingerly. Like there's a weight I didn't know I was carrying, and now it's gone. I'm truly myself for the first time. Within a year, most of the clone army has had their chips removed. A few refuse, uncomfortable with brain surgery, but the vast majority choose freedom over potential control. The clones become a respected part of galactic society. Some remain in the military. Others become teachers, doctors, pilots, craftsmen. They're no longer just weapons. They're individuals with rights and futures of their own. Jedi Order reforms the Jedi Order, also faces a reckoning. They survived Palpatine's conspiracy, but they failed to detect it until almost too late. Clearly something in the Order needs to change. Master Yoda calls a grand assembly. Every Jedi in the galaxy who can attend, either in person or via hologram. For the first time in generations, the entire Order discusses its future collectively. Failed we have, Yoda begins. A Sith Lord, under our noses for years. Manipulated the war we were. Blind to the darkness we became, Mace Windu adds. We became too rigid, too hierarchical. We stopped questioning our assumptions. We served the Republic without recognizing that the Republic itself was corrupted. Anakin speaks up. We also succeeded because we adapted. When we questioned, investigated, and trusted our instincts, we uncovered the truth. That's the Order we need to become, one that values wisdom over hierarchy. Ashoka Tano addresses the assembly. The old code served its purpose, but it was incomplete. There is no emotion, there is peace, but emotion is part of life. We should be teaching Jedi to understand and manage emotions, not suppress them. The reforms that emerge are revolutionary. The Council is restructured, from 12 members to 24, with term limits and regular elections. Knights and senior Padawans have voting representation. The code is reinterpreted. Emotion, yet peace. Ignorance, yet knowledge. Passion, yet serenity. Chaos, yet harmony. Death, yet the Force. A recognition that the light exists in balance, not in denial. Attachments are reconsidered. Healthy relationships are permitted. Jedi can marry, have families, maintain bonds, but they're taught to love without possessiveness, to care without fear of loss. Transparency increases. The Jedi publish regular reports on their activities. They're more accountable to the Republic they serve. Diverse paths are recognized. Not all Jedi must be warriors. Healers, scholars, diplomats, and artisans are equally valued. The reforms don't please everyone. Some traditional Jedi resign, uncomfortable with the changes, but most embrace the new direction, seeing it as necessary evolution. Anakin is offered a seat on the restructured council, along with the rank of Master. This time, there's no hesitation, no insult of being on the council without the rank. He accepts. Anakin and Padme. With the war over and Palpatine defeated, Anakin faces a personal crossroads. The Jedi Order's new rules allow relationships and marriage, but he's still haunted by visions of Padme dying in childbirth. He confesses everything to Obi-Wan during a private conversation in the Temple Gardens. I've been having nightmares, Anakin admits. Visions of Padme dying. That's what Palpatine used to manipulate me. He said only the dark side could save her. Obi-Wan regards his former Padawan with compassion. The future is always in motion, Anakin. Visions show possibilities, not certainties. But my visions of my mother came true, because you didn't act in time. But you're acting now. Padme has the best medical care in the galaxy. You're here for her. And you're not driven by fear, you're motivated by love. That makes all the difference. Ahsoka joins them. Master, you're not alone this time. You have me, Master Kenobi, the Council, Padme's doctors. You don't have to save her by yourself. Her words resonate. Anakin has support, community, people who care about both him and Padme. You're right, he says. I'll trust in the Force and be there for her. That's all I can do. Padme goes into labor on a peaceful Coruscant evening. Anakin is there, holding her hand, using the Force to soothe her pain without interfering. The birth is difficult, but not dangerous. Medical droids monitor everything. Bail and Breha Organa wait outside. Obi-Wan and Ahsoka send calming energy through the Force. Twin babies are born, Luke and Leia Skywalker. The vision of death doesn't come true. Padme is exhausted but healthy, cradling her newborns with tears of joy. Anakin holds his children and weeps, not from fear, but from overwhelming love and gratitude. They're perfect, Padme whispers. They're our future, Anakin replies. The dark vision has been prevented, not through Sith alchemy, but through community, support, and trust. 15 years later, the galaxy has transformed. The Republic has been reformed with strong democratic institutions. The Jedi Order has evolved into a more open organization. The clones have become full citizens. Luke and Leia Skywalker are 15 years old, being trained in the new Jedi ways. They're powerful Force users, but also grounded, raised in a loving family. Luke studies under Obi-Wan Kenobi, learning defensive techniques and aggressive power strikes. He's naturally talented, combining Anakin's raw ability with Padme's strategic mind. Leia trains under Ahsoka Tano, learning adaptive dual wielding. But she's also politically active, accompanying Padme to Senate sessions and learning diplomacy. Both children know they're the chosen one's offspring, but they don't feel burdened. Anakin has taught them that power is a responsibility, not a privilege. One evening, Luke approaches his father in the temple training room. Dad, can I ask you something? Anakin stops his kata. Of course. Master Kenobi told me about Palpatine, about how he tried to turn you to the dark side. Were you ever tempted? Anakin considers the question carefully. Yes. Palpatine promised me power to save your mother, and I was terrified of losing her. Fear is powerful. It makes you consider things you normally wouldn't, but you didn't fall. Because I wasn't alone. I had Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, the Council. When I discovered the truth about Palpatine, when we activated Order 65, I was supported by people who believed in me. That made all the difference. Luke absorbs this wisdom, so the key isn't being strong enough to resist temptation alone. It's being connected to people who help you resist. Exactly. The Jedi used to teach that attachment was dangerous. But healthy connections, friendships, family, love, those are what keep us anchored to the light. It's isolation that makes us vulnerable to darkness. 30 years later, Anakin Skywalker is 72 years old. His hair is gray, his face lined, but his presence in the Force remains powerful. He's lived to see his grandchildren begin their Jedi training. The galaxy he helped save has thrived. Democracy is strong. The Jedi serve with wisdom and humility. The clones are honored citizens, many in positions of leadership. Anakin stands before a memorial in the Temple's Hall of Remembrance. It honors the Jedi and clones who died during the Clone Wars, and the civilians caught in the conflict. But there's also a special inscription, Order 65, the protocol that saved the galaxy below it. When Darth Sidious planted Order 66 to destroy the Jedi, he never imagined Order 65 would be his undoing. The Jedi discovered the conspiracy, investigated with courage, and used the Republic's own safeguards to remove a tyrant. This memorial honors those who had the wisdom to look beyond the obvious, the courage to act against overwhelming power, and the foresight to use the enemy's weapons against him. Mace Windu joins Anakin at the memorial. Strange, isn't it? Palpatine built the clone army as a weapon against us, But the same protocols he used to hide Order 66 also contained Order 65. His own trap became his downfall. He was arrogant, Anakin observes. He assumed we'd never discover the chips, never investigate the contingency orders. He underestimated the Jedi. He underestimated you, Mace corrects. You were his target, Anakin, his chosen apprentice. If he'd turned you, if Order 66 had succeeded, the galaxy would be a very different place. But he didn't turn me, because I had people who believed in me, who supported me, who helped me see through his manipulation. They stand in silence for a moment. Then, Mace says, "The Council wants to officially recognize your role in defeating Palpatine, a commendation, a formal acknowledgement of your fulfillment of the prophecy." Anakin shakes his head. "I didn't defeat Palpatine alone. Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Yoda, we all fought him together, and Kix discovered the chips. Rex helped investigate. The entire Order contributed to exposing the conspiracy. True, but you struck the killing blow. You were the chosen one who brought balance. I was a Jedi who did his duty," Anakin insists. "Nothing more, nothing less. The prophecy doesn't matter. What matters is that we stopped a tyrant and saved the Republic. That's legacy enough." Epilogue 50 years after Order 65. The galaxy celebrates Peace Day, a commemoration of Palpatine's defeat and the end of the Clone Wars. In the Jedi Temple, a ceremony honors those who uncovered the conspiracy. Kix, now elderly, is presented with the Jedi Medal of Valor for discovering the inhibitor chips. Captain Rex receives commendation for his role in the investigation. Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Yoda, and Ahsoka are all recognized for their courage in activating Order 65 and confronting Palpatine. But the ceremony also honors the clones who died during the war, the Jedi who fell in battle, and the civilians caught in the conflict. It's a reminder that victory came at great cost. Chancellor Mon Mothma, Bail Organa's successor, addresses the assembled crowd. 50 years ago, we stood at the precipice of tyranny. A Sith Lord had manipulated the entire galaxy, orchestrated a war that killed trillions, and positioned himself to seize absolute power. The Jedi could have been destroyed. The Republic could have become an empire. Freedom could have died. She pauses, letting the words sink in. But it didn't happen. Because brave individuals questioned what they were told. Because they investigated when it would have been easier to accept. Because they had the courage to use an obscure protocol, Order 65, to remove a corrupt leader. The lesson of Order 65 isn't just about defeating a Sith Lord. It's about the importance of safeguards, of checks on power, of being willing to act against tyranny even when the tyrant is popular and powerful. It's about trusting in institutions while also questioning them when necessary. Today, we honor those who activated Order 65, but we also recommit ourselves to the principles it represents: vigilance against tyranny, courage in the face of power, and unwavering dedication to freedom and justice. The crowd applauds. Anakin stands with his family, Padme, Luke, Leia, and their children. He looks at the generations he helped protect and feels profound gratitude. The galaxy isn't perfect. There are still conflicts, still injustice, still suffering. But it's free, democratic, protected by Jedi who've learned from their failures and clones who've been granted the rights they deserve, all because someone discovered Order 65, all because the Jedi had the courage to use it, all because one protocol, buried among 150 contingency orders, became the key to saving the galaxy. Luke approaches his father after the ceremony. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if Order 65 didn't exist? If there was no fail-safe? Anakin considers the question. Then we would have found another way. Confronted Palpatine directly, exposed him through evidence, rallied the Senate against him. It would have been harder, bloodier, but we would have stopped him. You sound certain. I am. Because the Force brought balance, Luke. That's what the prophecy means. Not that one person would single-handedly save the galaxy, but that when darkness threatened to consume everything, the light would find a way to prevail. Order 65 was that way. But if it hadn't existed, another way would have emerged. Leia joins them. Still, it's good that Order 65 existed. It gave the Jedi a legal, legitimate method to remove Palpatine. Without it, the aftermath could have been much messier. True, Anakin agrees. Palpatine built the clone army to destroy the Jedi. But he also built safeguards to prevent a chancellor from seizing absolute power. He couldn't remove those safeguards without revealing his intentions. So he left Order 65 in the protocols, assuming we'd never find it. His arrogance was his downfall, Luke observes. It always is, Anakin says. The dark side makes you powerful, but it also makes you blind. Palpatine was so certain of his superiority that he couldn't imagine us uncovering his plan. That certainty killed him. They stand together, 3 generations of Skywalkers, looking out over Coruscant's cityscape. The sun sets, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and purples. What happens now? Luke asks. The Sith are gone. The war is over. What do we do with peace? We protect it, Anakin says simply. We learn from our mistakes. We train the next generation. We stay vigilant against tyranny while also trusting in democracy. We live the principles Order 65 represents. And if darkness rises again, then we'll face it, Leia says confidently. Together, as the Jedi faced Palpatine, as the Republic faced tyranny, we'll find a way. Anakin smiles. His children understand. The galaxy is in good hands. As night falls over Coruscant, the Jedi Temple glows with warm light. Inside, hundreds of Jedi continue their studies, their training, their service to the galaxy. The Sith are destroyed, ended by a protocol meant to safeguard democracy. The Republic is strong and free, protected by institutions that learned from near catastrophe. The Jedi Order has evolved, wiser, more humble, more connected to the life they serve. And it all happened because someone discovered Order 65. Because the Jedi had the wisdom to investigate. Because they had the courage to act. Because they turned Palpatine's weapon against him and saved the galaxy from eternal darkness. Order 65, the protocol that saved the galaxy. The failsafe that became a weapon. The obscure contingency order that prevented the Empire from ever rising. The galaxy will never forget it. And the Jedi will never forget the lesson it taught. That tyranny can be defeated not just through strength of arms, but through wisdom, courage, and the willingness to use every tool available, even the enemy's own weapons, to protect freedom and justice. That is the legacy of Order 65. That is the story of how the Jedi saved the galaxy. And that is why, 50 years later, the Republic still stands strong, the Jedi still serve with honor, and the Sith remain nothing but a dark memory, destroyed by their own arrogance and the safeguards they were too proud to eliminate. The end.